Howdy folks, my name is Grimith, and welcome to a new Let's Get On With It adventure. Populous 2, Trials of the Olympian Gods. Created in 1991 by Bullfrog Productions, and published by Electronic Arts. This is a god game. You're one of Zeus's wildly sown oats, and you want to hang out on Mount Olympus with all the other cool kids. But Papa Zeus doesn't just let anyone up there. I'm sure in part because Hera would suplex everyone off the mountain if she had to deal with yet another of her husband's half-breeds. No, if you want to be a part of the Greek pantheon, then you must undergo the trial of the Olympian gods. Defeat 32 divine opponents who rule the 1,000 worlds of Populous 2. Well, see how far I get in this 7-hour series, which was a special request from an opportunity I offered ever so long ago. You can thank Dolwyn87 for this excursion. Right. So, my familiarity with the Populous games is mostly through Populous the Beginning, which is less god game, you're not even a god, and more real-time strategy. My exposure to Populous 1 and 2 were through console ports rented from stores, without documentation, without understanding what the hell I was doing. Didn't go well for me, or for my opinion of them. But this series features the DOS version of the game, obtained through GOG.com and not U-Train outside. I've done a little experimenting in custom games, learned the controls. I've done more work outside the game to configure it, for playing and recording. Would not recommend this series if you are looking for skilled gameplay. I'm gonna workshop it as I go. Intro's pretty enjoyable, indicative of that bullfrog humor apparent throughout their games. That's enough of that, though. Since I brought up configuration, I am playing this with DOSBox. My game displays natively in 640 by 400. I've scaled that up so we can all see the action. Now, the game oscillates between resolutions in the menus. You're also going to see no bars here at the top or bottom, but when we get into actual gameplay, there will be bars at the top or bottom. And there's going to be bars to your left or right, courtesy of me recording this at 1280 by 720. The speed of the game is also unstable during actual gameplay. When you switch between the two user interfaces, one runs quicker than the other. You'll see what I mean in a bit. Actually, I guess that's all I have to say about the game and recording configuration. Great. Supposing on over to character creation. Because we have a character that we are ostensibly going to advance in power as we progress through the 1,000 worlds. Grim. It's good enough. It's a good name. We have 6 categories in which to invest our experience points, which we will earn score-based through our completion of worlds. You are able to get XP even when you are defeated, so that's good. We can change our character's appearance, which is also relevant insofar as determining how the AI interacts with you. The instruction manual suggests that a fiercer-looking character is going to have like weaker stuff thrown at it more often, whereas a more scholarly-looking type is going to have more cutting gameplay directed at them. To what extent the character appearance actually influences the AI's performance, I don't know. I don't know the exact nuances of the variables coded into the game. We're just gonna go with a look that I'm satisfied with. There's some potential in having a strong chin. I think I'm gonna go with this beard here. And I think we're going to have some hair with some handlebars here. Great. Sinister eyes with eyebrows? Yeah. A man who is focused and determined. Great. Let's put 2 points into... We have 5. Our 6 categories. Let's put some XP here. Let's put some XP here. Let's put a little bit there. Nothing. Experience nothing. We'll save this character. Wonderful. We'll try not to overwrite the 1 deity slot we get. Conquest game. Battle at Dogak. The landscape is fertile. With these effects, click for help. Fire column, ignite a dancing column of fire to burn out your opponent's people. To ignite one, left-click on this icon, your cursor to the close-up map, then left-click again. Teaches you a little bit about what it is that we're going to be able to use on this map that apparently changes throughout all of the worlds. I know some of the things that I'm going to have access to, courtesy of the instruction manual, which is not that large. I don't know whether everything in the game is in the instruction manual, and of course I don't know how accurate the instruction manual actually is. It's tragic. The rules of the worlds will change, what I'm getting from this. And we don't have to do these all consecutively. Depending upon our performance, we may end up skipping ahead some number of worlds. Titan of Afterthought, who is both very slow and sleepy. He failed to give protection from the elements. No wonder he's sad. He's a failure. Okay. Go in this game, and we are going to promptly crank this speed down to like half. I'm also going to press F10 to pause the game. So, this is the default view. It's a little nauseating. You have this cool little world map up here in the top left, and you have a Colosseum over here that doesn't just indicate global population, but if you click on buildings, gives you a sense of, or even like characters, gives you a sense of their strength. But this is just too narrow of a scope, and the reason why my scrolling is happening so quick here is because this mode that we're looking at right now runs quicker than this mode, which is far less nauseating to look at, though still has some speed to it. But I'm cool with what I've got here as far as cycles are concerned. So, we have walkers that we can only indirectly influence. We have settlements that are going to spring up that these walkers will create, and these settlements get larger as we increase the farmland around them, making it, more desirable for folks to live there. The flagpoles here with the flags indicate the strength of that settlement. When the flag reaches the top, they will automatically send out a walker to go do something else. But we can force sending out a walker by right-clicking on it beforehand to have them send out a walker to populate, create a new settlement. Over here is bad. They're always bad, and we're always good. I guess we're the pro tag of the story, so we get to be good. Hooray. There are hotkeys, which are pretty nice. We don't have any super cool powers open to us, though. Besides creating some fire columns. And then these initial powers right here of raising and lowering land, papal magnet, which, from what I can tell, is the understanding and gaining competency of that is crucial to winning this game. I imagine more so in the later levels than the early levels. Creating a hero out of a leader, and then Armageddon, which is creating the final battle. Okay. I know it's an effective description of what's going on. One other thing to note is that there is a computer assistant in the game, which I will not run immediately for this first video, I don't think. This computer assistant is not a crutch so much as a tool to help you or hinder you. Uh, from what I've gathered, you can end up wrestling with it at sometimes, and based on the powers I read about in the instruction manual, this computer assistant can probably doom you to death. So learning when to use it and when to switch it off, either for an entire level or perhaps immediately, seems important. Uh, so we'll end up making some use out of that. Computer Assistant will work towards flattening terrain around your settlements, and also to sprogging, which is issuing out walkers before the flag gets to the top of the pole. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get cracking manually. Game is fairly quiet if you were hoping for some more intense and epic action, based on that intro. That's where the entire sound budget went, really. The powers have some pretty neat sounds attached to them, so that's cool, but... Note that what I'm doing here costs mana. I get mana based off of my followers. They give me offerings and sacrifices, and makes me flourish wonderfully. There's rocks here in the way. You get those off of your battlefield by sinking the land around them. And then once they're gone, you can raise the land back up. So eerie and quiet. It would be helpful to have a tune of some kind. Like, hey, we're gonna have a tune, enjoy. I also did not have to sprog those folks, as I was going to send out those walkers immediately as I lowered this land to make it suitable for folks to live. Oh well. We pause. We can take a look down here and see how evil is doing. How bad, which, it's the very first world. You can't imagine that it's going to be that strong of a challenge. I'm trying to learn the game here. Baby steps, baby mechanics. I'd imagine the intricacy just, develops over the course of, well, 1,000 worlds. Turning it, I imagine, into sometimes, as other God games I've played. And even, strategy games is broad, because, God game definitely does fall under that category. At least Populous 2 does. Of puzzles, where it's like, you have to resolve this situation, and there are only a limited number of ways in which you can resolve the situation. Good luck, chump. I gotta remember, or try to make sure I click on the exact middle of a settlement to sprog it. Otherwise, I will raise and lower the land. One of the challenge stipulations prevents you from sprogging at all, so your tool, your right mouse button will always influence the land. One of the ways I noticed that the computer assistant really helps out is in sprogging things. Although, as I noted, I can see that being a hindrance as well. Situational thing. I do have some modest concerns about how engaging this gameplay is going to be over the course of this entire series, which will be going for at least 7 hours, as I noted. The higher there's obviously going to be greater complexity and challenge, where I'm frantically, dipping around my territory, trying to put out fires and deal with other sorts of horrid disasters. But for the time being here, there's just this. The sound effects have, well, the disasters, the interventions have, cool effects and sounds, and it's a way to, key you into what's happening. But this here is, well, not a whole lot going on. Damn it, I did it again. That icon over here is to signify a leader, whom we can convert into something like a hero, which in this particular case, we only have access to Perseus. Let's focus on sprogging more. Again, more followers means more mana generated. More mana generated means, well, more opportunities to use divine interventions. More opportunities to use divine interventions means laying down devastation upon our foes. It's where the bad opponent is focusing right now. If we take a look here at the Colosseum, you can see a population filling in here. Blue is us, red is the enemy, and we've got more folks on the board than what our enemy does. Understandable, right? Come on, walkers, get out there. These various settlements can also have like their own technology levels that they develop, a quality of equipment which can influence, well, which will influence their combat interactions. To what extent that actually like factors in like how meritorious that is, I couldn't tell you. I like doing, like, going out here to, like, the water and doing a 3-up and then moving back down so there's just that one little dip in the terrain. And then evening that out, and then boom, plenty of fertile land for my people. Get on out there. So many settlements to sprog from. Sprog, sprog, sprog. At the end of the game, we're going to see a score, which is try to, like, numerically signify how well we've done. And I think that experience points earned is incumbent or dependent upon your score performance. But could not swear to that right now. Damn it. It's too easy for me to do. I can also, through my papal magnet and through these buttons down here, tell my, or suggest to my followers what I would like for them to emphasize. You know, we've had enough fun doing that. Why don't we come down here, we'll let those guys sprog on their, well, not sprog on their own, but send walkers on their own. Let's change their elevation. Didn't mean to do that. Let's cause some wonderful, terrible flames to strike our foes. Yes! Burn! It burns the land, making it a bit unsuitable for farming. Burns the people, burns the settlements. Note that the column of flame is not appearing exactly where I'm clicking. That seems to be a theme for powers used. Wander around randomly. My experimentation in custom games, as a player, I would deal with these fire columns by sinking them underwater, which the computer assistant might try to fight you on if it does not want that land to be lowered. You can see that we have a mana bar over here, indicative of how much mana we have stored up to lay down the law. There we go. I think we've vastly sabotaged our enemy's capacity to do anything, really, of merit. But It also looks like there's no protection on this particular world for me raising or lowering land anywhere. So, we'll do that then. I'm used to needing, like, some sort of, like, broader influence or being close by in order to, like, do this whole sort of, like, raising and lowering thing. You'll obviously see the AI fighting back here as well. We just pockmark this a whole bunch, then this initial AI is screwed. There we go. AI starts to try and drown there. Starts drowning. There we go. I feel good about myself. We are a powerful entity. Did no wrong. Why don't we rate that magnet here? And have people go to the papal magnet. I want you folks to congregate up. Make us a character worthy of being recognized forever. So everyone, I sprog up, here's the call, and starts congregating. Or trying to congregate. They're going for the leader, who is then heading for the point. Alright, great. I think that'll probably be enough juice on that person. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful column of light and death. We shall make Perseus. Everyone's goal is to settle now. We are going to put the papal magnet down here. So now Perseus by my command, all juiced up, is ready to go out there and lay the beat down on all of evil. He's working on it. And we can make multiple Perseuses, too. Of course, would need a new leader. Let's go ahead and move the papal magnet here. There's our new leader, right there. All the walkers who are being sprogged walking towards him. As they should. As is their destiny. Gonna ball up a whole bunch of strength. This Perseus over here is having a rip-roaring good time. Laying waste to all of our foes. Get on out there, guys. Okay. And now, the more walkers are coming. Probably didn't even have to wait. Look at them, just all flowing in beautifully. I think that's good enough. Get on out there and have some fun. All of you, get out there and have some fun, too. I think it's apparent here on this very first Conquest world, though. I hadn't even tried any of the Conquest worlds. I was only playing through a few custom games, familiarize myself with the controls. Like, why you'd want to roll with the computer assistant to like, babysit these. Like this. Most of the drudgery and tedium will you handle with, like, putting out, like, disasters, or flinging interventions at your enemy, or, like, handling, like, specific areas of expansion. Just trying to micro all this stuff is just... Of course, when things eventually get far enough along... That's not an issue. Want you folks to colonize. Colonize. So you were like, I have no idea where to go to colonize. Everything is so packed. There's so many castles. And I'm like, no. There is more for you to do. More to colonize. Head towards the lands in the southeast. There's plenty of good spots there. I insist and swear to you. And they're like, will you make me more land over here so I can colonize? And I'm saying to them, no. Please. You'll find the land. Go get it. There you go. So all this land has been devastated. You just raise and lower it. It's fixed. We did it. That symbol over there is indicate that our leader, current leader that we can do things with, is currently in the middle of that settlement. I believe when he leaves, he takes a portion of that settlement strength with him. Poor Red. Poor Evil. Practically nothing left. Plan completed by Good in 148 days. It's too much strength. Never lost a single battle. Never lost a single leader. Overall score. Probably could have upped that by throwing down more effects at the end. It's fine. 2 lightning bolts. Admire the detail there. The little figurines made sitting or standing on the shelves. We're seeing like a play-by-play there in the world view. Our opponent there fondling a fire orb. Alright, cool. Baby's first level. Great. We did it. Let's put a bit more juice into... Put 1 point into people, 2 points into the tree and fire. We had some fun with fire. We'll have 2 points each in these. Put another point there. Save that player information. And continue. To the next conquest, which will be number 5. But we're gonna save that for a different video. I think that was an effective showcase of how this series is gonna be. Slow start, but we're gonna have some... gonna be wacky hijinks, eventually. We hope. Take care, everyone. Talk to you later.